Hi, everyone. My name is Melanie Hache, and I'm an holistic nutritionist. I'm going to talk to you about what is called Metabolic Balance. It's a program that was invented, developed over 25 years ago by Dr. Wolf von Fack in Germany. This program was originally designed to heal inflammation and to help reverse metabolic syndrome in his patients, which also resulted in achieving optimal body weight. This program was designed by studying the chemistry of one individual lab values and the chemistry of food, and then using food as a prescription. Metabolic Balance is an innovative, all natural nutrition program that brings balance to your hormones, optimizes your health, and leads to a new, invigorating lifestyle, resulting in successful long term weight management. To date, this program is managed by dedicated physician and nutritional scientists. So we're going to talk a little bit more. What is actually metabolic balance? So you've seen the description on the first slide, but basically the foundation of the program, Metabolic Balance, is unique capability to develop a truly personalized nutrition plan. So that is the fun thing about this program, because it's based on an in-depth analysis of your unique blood type, blood values, medical history, and personal likes and dislikes. Your personalized nutrition plan acts as your roadmap, indicating exactly which natural foods you should eat in order to orchestrate the biochemical changes needed for reaching your desirable weight and health goals. All right, so metabolic balance is 100% natural. There are no prescribed injections, no pills, no shake, proprietary foods that you need to purchase, nor, as with some diets, are you required to keep points or count calories. So it's a really simple process, and there's no gimmicks in behind it, basically. So your local grocery store and farmers market can easily provide all the wholesome nutrient foods listed on your personalized nutrition plan. So what to expect when you first start metabolic balance? Symptoms could be that you will be experiencing weight loss and improved energy. Who doesn't want more energy, right? Just that is awesome. So weight loss, another benefit that would result. Hormonal balancing, improve immune function, as we're going to be lowering the inflammation in your body. Your immune system will be, in a more relaxed state, and then less prone to for diseases. Potential reduction or elimination of the need for high blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetic medication, better sleep, improved moods, less bowel movements, and stomach problems. Other fun facts are reduced allergies and intolerances, improved joint and inflammation pain, save money on your weekly grocery bills. The program pays for itself in just a few months because you're only purchasing what the plan asks you to do. So you won't be buying in a way already prepared meals. So you'll be making wholesome meals, and will be more designed for you. So that's all beneficial. But potential benefit for sufferers of polycystic ovarian syndrome, type 2 diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. Also, we've seen high success rates for lifelong health benefits and weight management. So it's not what we call a diet, it's a lifestyle. And once you do start on this journey, you can totally maintain it. So how does metabolic balance work, actually? There are what we call the 8 rules, and we're going to go through them. So the first one is eat exactly 3 meals a day. Do not eat more or less than the plan prescribes. So the plan will tell you how much protein, how much grains, how much fruits and veggies that you should eat during the day, and it'll tell you like the quantities, like in grams. And then rule number 2, ensure there is a 5-hour break between meals. Depending if you are working like shift work, working night shifts, we can totally look at your schedule and make the plan work for you, depending on your day to day. So don't be scared with that rule. Rule number 3, make sure each meals last no longer than 60 minutes. Rule number 4, begin every meal with 1 or 2 bites of the protein portion. So if you're having either some type of meat, chicken, beef, fish, cheese, beans, eggs, yogurt, you should eat the protein first. And I'll explain a little bit more in depth once we start working together why we encourage this. The 8 rules. Number 5, be sure to have only 1 protein per meal and 3 different proteins per day. That's just to give your body some times to rest between each meals and to avoid having more than 1 protein, because it just creates stress on your body and makes it work overtime to go and digest your food. Rule number 6, if possible, do not eat after 9 p.m. And again, like I was saying earlier, if you're working night shifts and you're working a different work schedule, we can totally make this plan work for you. Rule number 7, you'll be given a water prescription. It is imperative that you drink your allocated, I think there's a typo, but allocated water per day. So it will look at how much you weigh, and we will determine how many ounces of water that you should drink during the day. So it's not just everybody drinks 2 liters or 3 liters of water per day. It's actually based on your weight at the current moment. And rule number 8, an apple a day. Like we always like the phrase, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So an apple is really important. You can choose one of your meals to include your daily apple. Typically, individuals will choose at lunchtime, so it'll be like their snack, the apple. But yeah, we can totally look into that once we start working together. So what we would see with Metabolic Balance clients is actually elevated insulin. And that's what we want to go and try to maintain with this program. So when we do have elevated insulin, what we do see is this is typically linked with higher cholesterol in the bloodstream. Which will increase, which will mean as well an increase in triglyceride. So basically fat concentration in the blood. And automatically, we will see an increase in different types of hormones. So in this case, the stress hormone adrenaline will be increased, and as well cortisol, another stress hormone, will be increased. So individuals that are feeling a little bit anxious, having like a high stress life, could totally benefit from working with the metabolic balance plan. Also, what we're seeing, if individuals have high insulin levels, their melatonin levels will be lower, so they'll be having less sleep, so having a harder time to falling asleep, and that's due because the melatonin is a sleeping hormone. DHEA, again, another hormone, and it helps build other hormones as well, will be lowered, and especially in women, this is truly important that DHEA be higher. Human growth hormone as well will be lowered. And at the end, the fat breakdown of individual will be lowered. So all that being said, if we can go and focus on maintaining insulin level at, and I'll be talking about this in this slide here, but what we want to avoid is insulin level from like doing spikes during the day. So going from lower to high, and doing that all day. So by doing this, following the metabolic balance, what we're seeing is actually blood sugar will be more stable during the day. So So we can see there's 3 different meals here, what we call insulin cork. So insulin level will be more stable and will be higher, I guess I should say, when we do have a meal, but then it won't drop as much because we will be focusing on foods that will keep your insulin level like maintainable instead of having dips. So between each meals, like I was saying, if you do focus and you maintain the 5-hour break between each meals, your body will be in the state of burning fat. So that's why in the end, lowering insulin level can increase weight loss. All right, so we'll be going through 4 different phases when we go through the plan. The first phase is what we call the preparation phase. That typically lasts during 2 days. So individuals will be eating a certain type of like minimal food during that time period, drinking water. We'll also be talking about like doing some type of intestinal flush with magnesium. So once we do get to that point, we can talk a little bit more, but that will only last a couple of hours during the first day. It's basically just to give your body like a reset and then be ready to get all the new nutrients that you'll be giving it to your body. Then what we call the phase 2 is what we call the straight phase. So that lasts around typically 14 days. During that time period, we will not be adding in any oils because we want to have the body limit the stress and just get ready as well to be able to absorb all the nutrients. In phase 3 is what we call the relaxed phase. So individuals at this point have been following the program for a couple of weeks and up to months. And then we can start potentially if by talking to each other, we can look into adding in maybe one cheat meal per week and having conversation about what this cheat meal could be and what it could mean for you. And then once we get to phase 4, this is what we call the maintenance phase. So this duration is ongoing and basically there's no end. Like I was saying, it's not a diet. It's basically a plan that's prescribed basically for you. And it's all related to your blood values that you would have from going to get blood work from your doctor. All right, so I'm just going to move my screen because I can't see what's written on the back. Okay, so what does the meal plan look like? So that would be typical meal plan for somebody. So there's different suggestions depending on the individual. There could be different types of food suggested. You can see suggestion 1, breakfast. Like I was saying earlier, the grams will be listed, so you can purchase like a portion weight that you can purchase and have at your home, and then you can weigh your food. Again, maybe some people have a fear. They're like, oh my God, this is going to be complicated. But once you start having a great field of, okay, this is how much 60 grams of cheese, let's say, is a word like whether it's a container at the end or a scoop that you're using, then you'll know, okay, so you may not need to weigh your food every like forever. You'll get the gauge of what it actually looks like. So depending on the type of meal plan that you do get in the end, you'll see, like in this case, suggestion number 2, protein. Mushrooms are considered protein in plant. So depending on the plan, you can see there's almonds and seeds and vegetables for breakfast. There's yogurt, fruit, and So depending on the individual, often eggs will be something that is not consumed daily, just a couple of times per week, and it all depends on the individual. All right, so it's a personal food plan, like I was saying, and the fun thing in this maybe you're maybe thinking, okay, Melanie, I don't eat I can't eat oysters, I can't eat scallops, I can't eat gluten and all that. Don't worry. Once we do order your plan, I can put the suggestions in and say, okay, fish is not something that my client can consume either by choice or either by intolerance or complete allergies. So we'll look into making sure that what is recommended at the end is something that you're comfortable in eating. So I would not, suggest something if you're not going to eat it at the end. Carbohydrates, same thing. There's different types of suggestions, as you can see here. When it comes to bread, normally what they do recommend is crispy rye bread and whole grain rye bread. We do want to avoid wheat in this case. And as well, fruits, depending on the type of individual, fruit indicated could be different as well. So this is just an idea of what could be in a plan, but again, it would be based on your blood type and all that. What is metabolic balance success rate? So what classifies a successful weight loss plan? When we look at an individual that they reach their goal weight and maintain it for at least 2 years, Metabolic Balance has a 60 to 80% success rate. The only program that has a higher than 50% success rate in over 35 countries is globally the highest success rate. And the next highest is Weight Watchers at 22%. And again, 22%. And what we were saying earlier, with this case, you're weighing your food, but you don't have to count points. So it's a little bit easier, and you have your list of what is considered what you should be eating or not. So expected weight loss, how much can you expect to lose? It depends really on the individual. Some individuals I've seen like 5 to 8% of their body weight that have been lost during the 16-day reset period. So again, like I was saying, it's really to give a break to your body at that time, and to little by little to incorporate different foods, and to then try to increase the portions a little bit. So it'll be all gradual in it. 1 to 2% of your total body weight per week pass that until an optimal body weight has been achieved. Starting weight typical. So like, as you can see, there's it can vary for each individual. All right, so curious to learn more, let's discuss the flow of consultation, accountability, check-ins, and pricing. So for an individual that starts working with me, we could expect a first appointment. We could schedule initial consultation that we call to see have a discussion, evaluate health goals, complete an intake form and medical assessment, then evaluate the 4 pillars of health. And then you would be given a welcome package, which will then be sent, whether depending on which province, or if you're living in the States, if you do have access to a lab to have your testing done, that's like classified true metabolic balance, then we would go a certain route. But if you're in a province like me, that we do not have access to the labs, you would go and see your doctor in this case. Second appointment, we can move. I typically do all my consultations via Zoom. So we would meet over Zoom, review phase 1 and 2, like I just talked a little bit briefly, but we would be going through more details of what typically food you could eat and all that. And then you will be instructed to fully read your plan twice over. to contact me if you have any type of questions, and to select an official start date. Okay, so, and if you're saying, okay, well, Melanie, I have wedding coming up and all that, well, we may want to wait until after the wedding to start this, because like I was saying, the first couple of days you may not want to go out because you will be using the washroom a little bit more. You'll be using what we call a metabolic, not metabolic, but the magnesium sulfate, and that will help your bowels to evacuate a little bit more, so that you may be used to. So like I said, yeah, we would look into looking what could be the best time for you to start. We would be in frequent communication during the first 16 days. So you can send me voice messages and emails, and then we can check in and see how you're doing. Third appointment, we would meet again over Zoom, evaluate your results at that time, and then see if we're ready to move to phase 3. And then for phase 4, this is broken down into 12 weeks of accountability check-ins. And then we could schedule meetings via Zoom as needed. So again, we would be going through this step by step, and each individual, it could look different, but it's just to give you an idea of what it could typically look like. All right, so 5th appointment, this is the 12-week mark. We would again meet over Zoom, evaluate results, and evaluate changes in all 4 pillars and adjust protocol as needed. Okay. Appointment 6, this is broken down into 12 more weeks of accountability check-ins, and then scheduling meetings as needed. And the 7th appointment, this is the 24-week mark. This is the most important of all. This is where we would look into incorporating phase 4. And then, as I was saying earlier, once you get to that point, you're already managing, you're feeling as if you have a good grasp on this program, and then you're able to sustain and stay balanced for life if you've continued to follow this guide. So whether you have accomplished your goal or not yet, you will be given a full package outlining the changes in the maintenance phase, and then to review exactly what to do if you feel you're slipping, because you can always go back to phase 1 and phase 2 if something happens. So don't be scared. So yeah, so I will be there and to make sure you're setting yourself up at the right time. All right, so what is included and what does the program cost? So we did talk about 6 months of personalized coaching for 24 weeks. That gives around 6 months. Program that works without the yo-yo effect and the need to try something else. No additional costs ever again, because once you have your program, that's yours. And like I said, you can restart if you wish. You will have your plan to revert back if needed. Blood work, depending on the Provence, yeah, Provence. Oh my God. Depending on where you live in Canada or in the US, you're probably laughing your heads off right now if you're still listening. Thank you. So yeah, blood work, depending if you live in an area where you have access to a lab, then there could be an extra fee. So if you're not living in that type of area, if you're living in an area like me that you don't have to, you'll go through your doctor, then the price is reduced. So that's why it's $850. If not, it would be there would be an extra, I think it's $150. I would have to check because I'm not too familiar with that type of testing yet. The individuals that I've worked with up to now have all worked, or not worked, but lived in a province where we don't have access to the blood work testing. All right. So complete custom nutrition plan. So again, you would receive that, and that would be yours, and a bioelectrical independent scale would be something, yeah, that you would that would be included in the price. All right, and yeah. So last slide. If you have any questions, and again, I want to thank you for your attention. Thank you for getting to this point. And hopefully, if you do have any questions, you'll reach out, and it would be my pleasure to work with you and to support you on this new journey of working through with metabolic balance. So I wish you all a great end of day or day, depending on what time of day that you're listening. But yeah, just wanted to share with you. So these are my information, and that is my website. So if you want to go and check it out, and likely if you found my video, you may have been already on my website. But again, yeah, I want to thank you for taking the time, and I hope we will have the chance to connect. All right, bye bye.